to Faithful Foundations Podcast, episode 17, Joy in Your Marriage. Today we'll be talking about how it is so vital in your marriage to learn to laugh together and at each other.
Yes, it's very important, and which I think, have gotten really good at. And the thing is, you have to understand, you have to be able to be willing to laugh together and at each other, and do that without getting offended.
Yeah.
Because you're living life together. There are going to be funny moments in your life, silly moments in your life, and when you cultivate to be able to understand, like, let's have fun and just laugh about that because it is funny, and not get offended by that, you'll see that the intimacy in your marriage will grow. You will see that the connection and the unity in that relationship will grow. And not only that, joy is a fruit of the Spirit. You want that fruit not only operating in your life, but also in your marriage. And you can also understand that it's the characteristic of heaven. Joy is serious business in heaven, and it's a reflection of God's character and nature in your marriage and in your relationship and in your family, and that is vital for other people on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I think that joy within your marriage, like, it is such an evident thing of, like, for you to not be offended letting your spouse laugh at you, like, there has to be such a, like, vulnerability and a sense of just companionship there and trust that it is all in fun and no ill intentions or anything behind it. Like, you have to build to that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to understand, marriage, union, coming together, God had made that and ordained that not for you to be married to struggle through it, to suffer through it, to feel like you're having to work to get through it. It's for fun. Like, you are connected together in a relationship to build one another, to grow one another, and to strengthen one another.
Yeah, true companionship.
Yeah.
Delight in one another.
Yes, and part of that is being able to have fun. God created it for you to have fun in your relationship, to have joy in your relationship, not to have bitterness and sadness and frustration and all these things that are counter to joy. He wants you to have a joy and a happiness in your marriage.
Yeah, I think it was something that, not that I didn't have, like, joy or fun or see that in my parents' marriage, but I mean, it's not that it was bad, but it just wasn't really a part of it. And, like, I feel like between our kids with their sense of humor that they get from you and you, like, I'm used to it now, like, and I love it.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing. Like, it's not just for companionship, purpose, and things with that. You gotta have laughter. It's for joy. And the thing is, you have to understand, out of Galatians chapter 5, talking about the fruit of the Spirit. In that, it says the very first fruit operating in your life through the Holy Spirit being in you, and the fruit of the Spirit is love, then joy, and follows that is peace.
Yeah.
So it tells me, if there's love, that is, first of all, the God kind of love in your marriage, there's going to be joy. And when there's joy, peace follows.
Yeah.
See, where joy floods and overflows your life, then peace will come in, and you'll have a peace in your marriage. You'll have a peace in your home. You'll have a peace that surpasses all understanding, that is operating in your marriage, in your life, in your family. And it's a characteristic that shows that God is in the center of your marriage. And with the fruit of the Spirit, the big thing with that, and when you have this operating also in your marriage, which I think is very important. So it's operating in you, and if it's operating in me, and it's operating in you, this fruit of the Holy Spirit, and we're cultivating those, and we're allowing Him to work to bring His character and His nature out in us. Then it should also be revealed in our marriage. And you have to understand this too, is that when God looks at that, and He looks at you, and He sees His nature in you. Man, just think about how powerful that is. But think when also on another level of that is when He looks down on our marriage and He sees a reflection of Him in the middle of your marriage, because you are walking with Him in the center. And so when He sees you and He sees the fruit of the Spirit operating, He sees joy, He sees peace, He sees love, He sees the patience and the long suffering and all these things that you're doing to work in your marriage, he sees a reflection of him in your marriage, man, how powerful that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and us as parents then looking down at our own kids and seeing it through them too.
Yeah, operating in their lives.
Yeah.
Proverbs 17:22 reminds us of this, and it says, "A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." Think about that. I mean, a merry heart, a cheerful heart, a happy heart, a joyful heart does good like a medicine. So if you want to kind of reshape that a little bit into
Yeah.
a relationship, you can say a joyful heart or a joyful relationship doeth good like a medicine. In other words, if there's joy in the center in your marriage and in the center of your marriage, then your marriage is going to be healthy. It's going to be strong, because where the joy of the Lord is, there is strength.
Yeah.
And so you think about that in this essence of in your marriage, your marriage is going to be strong because it's strengthened, because you have this character and nature of God and an attribute of who God is operating in your life. And because we're talking about different too, joy is different than happiness.
Yeah.
And happiness can be fleeting. And so you joy, well, let me say it this way. Happiness is derived.
It's an emotion.
Yeah, and it's derived out of joy. So your happiness can go up and down, but if joy and you choose joy and it's consistent, then it's,
Supernatural.
and it's going to produce a happiness in your life
Yeah.
that is flowing in your marriage.
Yeah. Do you remember when I think it was Bristol when she was little, and like she was just so naturally funny that we would laugh all the time, but she thought we were making fun of her, and like so we had to tell her like, no, like you're being so joyful and so funny, like it's a good thing for people to laugh and to have laughter. Like she would always get so upset,
Yeah, she
like
would.
thinking that we were being mean laughing, and we're like, no, like this is awesome.
Yeah, and our kids all have a different form of sense of humor. Brylin is very much like me. She has a sense of humor like me. She cracks jokes like I do. Bristol's a lot different.
Branson is really silly too.
Branson, I was going to get there. Branson is just silly and goofy. He'll be normal one second, all of a sudden he'll be doing this crazy
Yeah.
little thing
Or voice or
or
dance
looking in the mirror
moves. Yeah.
doing something, and we just laugh about it. And you know, the thing is, he starts laughing too, because we've learned through Bristol too to say, hey,
Yeah.
that's funny, buddy, you're being funny, you know,
Yeah.
like, so we're not laughing, make
Building
it seem
that
like
up, yeah.
laughing at him or anything with that. But the thing is that with that, like, think about the joy in having it in your family, in the center of your marriage, and operating in your marriage, operating in your home. Well, when difficult times do come, that joy is going to help you get through that.
Yeah.
If joy is already established, here's the thing, it's harder to establish joy in the middle of a trial, in the middle of a situation, in the middle of a difficulty that's coming against your family or against your marriage. If you don't already have that established, it's going to be difficult to establish joy in the middle
Yeah,
of
to
that.
pull it out.
But if it's already a foundation, a firm foundation, it really, I mean, joy and faith operate together. So faithful foundation, really, joy should be a foundation within that faithful foundation. And when that's already cultivated and a foundation, when trials and storms come, it's going to help you get through that rather than trying to establish something in the middle of it.
Yeah, it will naturally flow out, and it will break the stress, break the tension.
Yep. Well,
Things will shift.
it keeps your marriage healthy. It keeps your household healthy. It keeps your family, your children. It keeps it healthy, a healthy environment, a healthy atmosphere.
Yeah, sometimes maybe all you know to do is laugh.
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, when you think about it too, joy really does change the atmosphere. It will shift an atmosphere. And so when there's something going on and you have this established, it will shift the whole atmosphere of your home, of your marriage, or what you're going through and what you're battling together and you're striving. Or if there's tension between you, that joy and being able to laugh will shift the whole atmosphere of your relationship and change it.
Yeah, and I really feel like learning to not just laugh together, but laughing at each other. It's pretty humbling and has to be done in humility.
Yeah, and, you know, you gotta have fun. There's things we do now, like there's this just moments. Like I'll literally say that, well, that was just a just moment, and it's just something.
Literally, I
like,
don't try. It's just something. It's just adjustment.
It's
That's all
something.
you can explain it as.
The best way I can explain it is just something that should be so obvious that you just say, or that you don't, like you do, that is just like obvious to anybody, but you had to say it, or you did something that is like completely just like, what in the world?
I
And it's
know.
just a just moment.
I've embraced it so much that now I'll even, if you're not around me, I'll tell you about it so that you can laugh and be like, oh my goodness.
And I
just
think
with me.
and that's a good point too, is like you need to come to a place in your life, in your marriage, that be willing and humble enough to have such the ability and trust in your spouse that you can share funny moments. When we do that
Yeah.
now, we'll be like, you can't believe what I did today.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll both share those and just laugh about it, because you need that in your marriage, but it builds things. Because here's the thing, you want joy in there because you don't want to just feel like your relationship or your life is just mundane. You're going through the emotions. Well, I got to do this. I got to go to work today, and
It
then
can
I got to
so
come
easily
home.
be like that.
Yeah, I got to come home and I got
Yeah.
to fix dinner or take out the trash, and then I got to do this, and then I'm gonna have the kids, and and then it becomes this routine,
Cycle, yeah.
and you get set in a routine in that sense. But you need the joy to help break up the mundane and to bring life into it and strength into it, and those things that will bring more life, strength,
Yeah.
and into your marriage, that just it builds it.
Yeah, it makes me think of that video that Brenlin and Branson made not too long ago of them making cookies together, and they started a flower fight with one another, remember?
Mhm.
And Brenlin like put a mustache on Branson, and he was cracking up, and he was like, I wish mommy could come in and see me right now with my mustache. And they were having so much fun doing it, and I love that.
Yep, I had to laugh at Branson because even with this, like this laughing in the middle, he of a situation, even though I was like, "What the heck, kid? Like, why are you doing that? Like saying that?" Because I was trying to like silence his mouth because there are other people around. And he's like laughing at myself. He looks at me and goes, "Daddy," I'm like, "Yeah." "Did you brush your teeth? Your breath stinks." I'm thinking, kid. I'm like, come on. Like, there's people around here, but like seriously. But
Yeah.
then I'm just like kind of laughing because like he's just being,
Kids
a
will say
kid.
anything.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna get upset or anything like that. It's like,
Yeah.
and I want to turn around and be like, kid, your breath stinks, But anyway, and that's the thing. When you can laugh about that, and even laugh at yourself, it breaks tension.
Yeah.
It breaks those things down, and it builds intimacy between us, but also with our children. It builds that relationship that's there, that you can have fun, and your
Yeah.
kids aren't walking on eggshells trying to crack jokes or having fun or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's like in the beginning when I said like there has to be such like a sense of safety and vulnerability, like to share moments with that and not get upset when someone's laughing at you
Yeah, I mean,
or with you.
And what I've learned, like, Bristol got out of school just the other day, and she was kind of in her little mood that she gets in once in a while, and so I just started being goofy. And
Maybe we shouldn't call it her little mood because I don't want to keep seeing that.
Well,
Like, I don't
we don't have
want
to say it to her, but
say
it's
that
still
to
her little mood.
Yeah.
And I just started being goofy with her and talking funny and everything. And what I saw, just me being really like funny and kind of acting a little silly, stupid
Yeah.
with her, it broke that. And she started laughing and even doing voices back and different things like that. And it just broke the tension,
Yeah.
broke whatever she had on her.
Yeah, I love that. Like laughter does bring just like a sense of then calm and like things are okay. Like we can be joyful and laughing.
Well, it can change your perspective,
Yeah.
how you're looking at something, how you're going through things. It can strengthen you in the middle of those trials, give you a different perspective of what you're going through, or even with your children, and a different perspective towards them. And it restores. Laughter will restore. It will remove trials or remove barriers or remove things that are trying to come between you, or removes those things, and can restore relationship and restore those things in your life.
Yeah. I love this too, that joy is not just accidental, that it's intentional.
Yeah, it has to be. You choose joy.
Yeah.
David writing, he said, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." In other words, he's choosing. I'm choosing to be joyful in this day and to rejoice. I'm going to rejoice. I'm going to have joy in this. And so you look at that. You can wake up. You can get not a lot of sleep. Branson came in at like 3 a.m. last night. Came at 3 a.m. and wide awake, wanting his tablet. I'm like, no, and wanting a glass of milk. I'm like, no, climb up in the bed, and go back to sleep. And he did. And he's like, rub my leg. That's what rub my leg, Dad.
He has
rub my leg.
growing pains. He's growing.
And so I will not rub his feet. That is Jess's job. I will not touch feet. Anyway, so and with that, so I'm like, that wakes you up out of sleep. And you have to fall back to sleep, and you're tired. Well, I can wake up and be like, in a bad mood or choose joy. And then if I choose joy, that causes them to choose joy and reflects in what I'm choosing to do, then that shifts the atmosphere, but also that emotion of happiness and stuff will reflect and fall on them.
Yeah, sometimes when you're like holding me down and tickling me, and like Branson almost gets defensive, like because I'm like, stop.
He started punching me one time.
Yes.
I'm like,
mommy's okay, it's all right.
Yeah, and so with that, when you have that and you think about that and creating that atmosphere, and really it comes down, it may sound cliche in a way, but joyful parents will have joyful children. And it's important for that, because you need to have that in your life. You need to cultivate that so that your children can cultivate that in their homes as they grow and get older, and you want them to be joyful. Because life, life is too short to go through it upset and not having fun.
Yeah.
And in your marriage, my goodness, how many divorces could be just be skipped or not take place because you simply learn how to have joy and laugh at one another and create that atmosphere in your home.
Yeah, and be playful and go back to the way things were in the beginning.
Well, it creates the nature of Christ in the home. And that's what it is. It's having Jesus at the center.
Yeah.
And having him at the center means I'm going to have joy in the house. I'm going to have love in the house. I'm going to have peace in the house. There's going to be patience. And operating in the home, operating with the children, operating in your marriage. There's going to be all those things, kindness and long suffering. In other words, endurance to make it through. And you're going to have those things, faithfulness, operating in the home, because Jesus is at the center, and it reveals his nature and his nature in it. And so, yes, it has to be intentional. You have to choose it. And you look at this when you choose joy and you choose those things, it's not about just, well, let me say it this way. When you choose those things and the joy in choosing joy, you're not going to just make it through. You're not going to survive in your marriage and your relationship. You're going to thrive in it.
I love that.
And that's so important.
Yeah.
You got to thrive.
Yeah.
I want our marriage to thrive. I want our household to thrive.
Yeah.
I don't want to just survive and make it through. We want to thrive in it.
Yeah.
And joy helps you do that.
Amen. Ha ha ha.
Well, and before you get to these talking points, you also have to understand that joy is a spiritual weapon.
Oh, yeah.
So as a couple and as a married couple and for our house and our kids, it is a spiritual weapon. In other words, if we're having joy cultivated in our home and being able to laugh and have fun and those kind of things, I'm shutting out depression. I'm shutting out the oppression and the enemy trying to attack either our kids or us, the anger, the fear, and all that, because peace is there. And you're operating in faith even when times you don't want to have joy or operating in joy. You're operating out of faith. Yeah. And it shuts a door to the enemy. You shut the door on the enemy to have a way into your household, have a way into your home or into your life or into your marriage.
Do you remember that song of Menissa's that the kids, they still do love it, but like they'll laugh at the devil like this. Ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to do that to the top of their lungs.
They would glare it on the way to school.
Yeah, they would.
All right. So our couples talking point for today is, where do you see God growing us as a couple right now? And the family or kids talking point is, how can we pray for you in this season?
No, those are good.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us once again for Faithful Foundations in this podcast. We enjoy it, and we hope you do too.